Back again. Chapter 5. Adora Vane stared at the 365 outfits in her great dressing room and the 365 pairs of shoes lined up neatly below, one for every day of the year, if only they were good enough. It wouldn't do. Pomeroy Pomfrey was late with her new set of outfits. Was he going for an award as the most incompetent scene master in Longtown, for Guild's sake? She ran her fingers across the silk jacket. She couldn't address the Geographical Society board in one of these old things. She needed more funding. There was one thing she was certain of: sovereigns bred sovereigns. It wasn't cheap, being one of the most envied members of Longtown society, and this second expedition would take nearly everything she had. Fortunately, she knew it would be more than returned when she won the race to South Polaris, which she would this time. But it was more than that. She wanted her statue in the Geographical Society's Great Hall of Explorers, the next in the lineage of Vanes. An insect scuttled out from beneath the pink lounge chair and extended her full silver wings. She fluttered them and flew up to land on Adora's finger. "This won't do at all. I have nothing to wear," Miptra, Adora said, then calmed her brow and cursed Pomfrey for making her so cross. Wrinkles were very unbecoming. She made a mental note to send someone to retrieve some more honey bloom, or whatever it was called, that was so good at soothing her skin. Rushed footsteps stomped up the stairs, and a bedraggled man burst through the door. He could barely be seen due to the swaths of material in his arms. Just two bloodshot eyes with bulging bags underneath, and a few tufts of hair on his balding head. 3 days you've had since I rejected your last efforts," Adora snapped. Miptra took flight and hovered close to Pomfrey, gnashing her silver mandibles. "I'm sorry, madam," came the scene master's muffled voice. He gave Miptra a worried sideways glance as she lingered beside his face, the clack of her teeth growing faster. Pomfrey's voice juddered. Catching a Pomeranian puffback proved more difficult than one may expect, as there are but 3 left in the wide. "I hoped you killed the other 2 as well." "I beg your pardon, madam." "Good gracious, man, I may need matching accessories, and the one I wear would be much more desirable then, wouldn't it?" She rolled her eyes. Was the whole world really this slow? "Wow, show me." Pomfrey heaved the many gowns across the chair. He held up the first. "This is the exquisite silk discovered recently, made by the indigenous people of the Eastern Isles. Berry dipped Nope!" He tossed it behind the chair and picked up the next, a lush pink fur. He'd hired 5 extra steam masters to get it right. "No," she said, before he could even begin. He picked up the next, a tight-fitting bodice, which bloomed out to a trumpet skirt and pink furry hems and cuffs. Pomfrey's eyes were wide and hopeful. "Ooh, don't that sound awful?" Adora tilted her head and reached to the plums so soft they could barely be felt. "Ah, the Pomperian." Pomfrey nodded. She held it up. It matched her tall, elegant silhouette perfectly. The board would give her whatever she wanted. "This one will do." The edges of Pomfrey's lips curled in a smile. "But the pink needs lightening. See, the shade is out." She held it beside the 365 others. It looked identical to Pomfrey. "Have the dress back by the morning." Pomfrey opened his mouth to complain, but he knew it was futile to shut it. So shut it again. "As you wish, as always." "Don't use a tone with me, Pomfrey. There are hundreds of scene masters in Longtown queuing up for the chance to create me. This will be front page in the Longtown Chronicle. Would 6:30 chime suit you, madam?" "Make it 6 and don't disappoint me," she snapped. Pomfrey dipped his head, and Miptra saw her chance. darting in to bite him on the arm. He yelped, and he lifted his hand to knock her away, but managed to restrain himself. "Now go, you've quite upset Mitra," Eudora said, waving him away. The insect landed on Eudora's shoulder, clacking her teeth triumphantly. As a dishevelled palfrey left the room, another man entered, tall and utterly calm in the contrast. He took off his hat and inclined his head respectfully towards Eudora. "Smethwick, it's rather late for business. Can't it wait? I'm meeting the board in the morning for the final expedition approval." This you will want to hear. I caught sight of a bird close to Brightstorm House. She frowned, but quickly corrected it. "Hardly newsworthy of the Longtown Chronicle, Smethwick." She threw herself back into the pink gowns on the chair. "I'm certain it is Ernest Brightstorm's sapient bird, Eudora. The purest white hawk, not a marking on her." Her eyes narrowed. "How could it have flown all the way back? When?" "Not 2 chimes ago. The children got to it first. I thought you'd want to know," he said. "Watch them closely and report back to me." Smethwick bowed and left the room. Oh, so it was Smethwick watching him.